May 1st, 2016. This is Mike, and we're in the Brier, and this is a little bit side branch that runs off the river. There's an island right here, the old days, called Elijah Whaley Island. And most time in summertime this is all dry in here, but in the spring it's just always great fresh colors of green. Do a little cemetery walking today in the Brier. This path and the park has cleaned it up for decorations, which will start in Greenbrier in May and June, where different family groups come in on weekends and have picnics and talk about their ancestors living in the Brier. But for a long time, a lot of people didn't know where this trail was because it was not put in the cemetery book correctly. The mileage was wrong. Let's go on up the trail. The trail goes around a corner through a little gap in the ridge and goes up a gully here, and it's about a quarter-mile climb, and we'll go up to the top of this hill to a little spot on the top and visit some ancestors of mine. After you come up the trail about 100 yards, there's actually a little path over here to the right too. There's a Elijah lived with his son and a home place right over there, just around the corner. And this is where we got a real tough, about 200-yard climb up this hill to the cemetery on top. Well, you make it up the hill, and the cemetery used to have hog wire all the way around it, fence posts. You can still find a little bit of hog wire and barbed wire. Here's the Elijah Whaley Cemetery, who's my second great uncle on my mama's side. Might be a little hard to see. Maybe starting to rain on me. A sprinkle right there. There's Whaley. You can see where the graves sunk in a little bit. It's all moss covered. And here's Elijah Whaley, who a lot of folks don't know was a twin to Jeannie Jane Whaley, who's my great-great-grandmother. So this is her brother. Here's Clementine Whaley Husky. And a few more graves here. Here's Herman Lindsay, who died when he was 14. And I'm gonna get wet. I thought the rain might hold off a little bit, but the trees might protect me. You can walk up there and listen to it, water on the waterfall trail. Getting out by the river, and this rock out here, this is one of the old swimming holes. Quick shower, and then it lit up a little bit. So we'll take another short walk. The rain's moving on across the river, and a little patch of blue skies popped out. And this little path just past the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. And there's a little spider web for Christy. So we're gonna walk up here and share some more history. You walk up a little side path off the path, and this time of year you gotta be careful, look out for bees and snakes. This little path's a bit smaller, but just about 100 yards off the road. And you walk around here and you find one of 3 chimneys that still stands in Greenbrier. This is the Ashley Husky place. One of the sons of Frederick Husky. And 2-sided chimney, and it's been hanging on for a long time, and it still is. And a few pieces of the old stove here. And that's it right there. And if you look closely, we get you some Jedi points. You can see where the bank's dug out right there. It used to be a dry cellar. And right back here, along the branch, is the old spring house. Which still has plenty of water flowing out of it right there. And now you can actually see the old road bed on that side of the branch going up the hill, up what they call Blaze Pine Ridge. We're not doing that today. Just a couple of short walks. The little path comes over here and crosses the branch. Right here you got about a 100-yard climb up the hill to the Frederick Husky Cemetery. But we made up the path, which when it's wet like this, it's a little bit stick walking back down because it's got a lot of red clay on it. But Rose Husky, Grace Dooley, who's a stranger to me, and then you go across here, and this gravestone's getting a little bit harder to read all the time, but there's Frederick Husky right there, who's son of John Husky. Alonzo Husky's cemetery across the river is his son. There's his wife, Dorothy Lindsay, born 1850 and died in 1900. So she was born and died about the same time as my great-grandmother. Here, these stones are unreadable, but they're actually F.E. Husky's daughter and son-in-law, who was John Nelson Ormby, who married their daughter. I believe that's correct. And then down here you got a few baby graves. Lawrence Husky and Agnes Husky, and they're the daughter of Oliver and Eva Husky. And Mamie Husky here, who died in 1929. And looks like she was born and died on the same day, bless her heart. And that is true of the Agnes as well. So got 2 or 3 kids here who just had a hard time a couple years apart, 1920s. And you had this nice view down the valley at one time. It's up on a little knob, and just right in the center of the old Husky farm. They went all up here across Blaze Pine Ridge and all the way up toward Annie Riffle's apple orchard at one time, going way back, like early 1830s. But another one of my favorite little cemeteries, and a few distant cousins in here, and just a short walk off the road, probably less than a quarter mile up the hill here from the where you park along the road. But just wanted many little cemeteries in Greenbrier a lot of people don't know about. And now you do. There's a pathway to the woods on up here that goes up to an old home place, old chimney. There's actually half a dozen home places on up this valley. But you kind of need to know where you're going back in there. You can't really get lost, but you sure can get into some ugly stuff if you don't know what you're doing back up in there. There's places where the fields are open. There's places where it looks the same as the field you was just last in, and you could get confused. Just a nice, easy Sunday morning today. Enjoying the fresh spring of green in the briar.